Um, is when I wrote our calendars for the semester, I was not sure that there was going to be I was going to be able to go to a conference this week. It is here in San Antonio, but I am taking some students to that conference, and so we will not have class on Wednesday. Okay, Wednesday will be another independent study day for you to work on your project and try to get ahead on some of those recipes. Okay, so this week, Wednesday, and then next week on Monday, we'll go back to a normal Monday, Wednesday schedule, starting on the 6th and the 8th. Okay. So we'll go back to a what normal, pretty much all the month of October is going to be a normal Monday, Wednesday schedule. And then that first week of November, I am out of town for another conference. But then after that, it should be pretty simple. By that time, let's see, this is chapter 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, by that time we should be done with the textbook. And so from that point forward, it's only independent study to finish your project. Okay. When we get to that point, once we finish chapter 10 of the textbook, once we get to that point, we will only have project work days. Okay. And what that means is I will still come to class. I'll still be sitting in here. I'll still log into Zoom. But the only thing we're going to be working on is if you have questions about any recipes from the project. Okay. If you don't have any recipe questions, or if your recipes are already done for that week, then you don't even have to log in. You have to log in at the very beginning for attendance. And then I've taken attendance, if you have already done the recipes that are due that week, then you can log off. You don't have to stay logged into class. Okay. So again, just a reminder, October 1st, Wednesday, we will not have class. Um, I will be here on Wednesday the 1st because my conference doesn't start until 3 o'clock. Okay. But because the conference is on Thursday, remember how I like to keep my classes together. So if I'm not having my Thursday class, I'm not going to have our Wednesday class. But I will be here on Wednesday. So if you want to come in and you want to have help with your project or something, I will be here and available on Wednesday. Okay. We just won't have an official class then. Questions, comments, concerns about that? I apologize for the short notice.
Sounds good.
No questions? Okay.
Nope.
Cool. Um, Anybody ever been to the Philippines before? I think I've gained 5 pounds because they just kept feeding us.
What's your
Every
favorite thing to eat?
My favorite thing to eat, they have a local dish that was created in Pampanga, called siksik, and it's like in the
In a
Pampanga.
sizzling plate.
What's that?
It's in a sizzling plate.
Yeah, yeah, and then
That's a
they
pig's
use like the
ears.
from like the cheek. They use
King.
the meat from like the snout. It's
Yeah.
a pork dish. It's really good.
You like it?
Yeah, it was really good. I did try balut. Somebody not know what that is?
Oh. Yeah.
It is a fertilized duck egg. So they fertilized it for about, I don't know, 10 to 20 days, I think. Um, I'll show you a picture.
It's crazy.
hmm
It's their street food. So that's what they eat like when they are walking
You
home.
put salt and vinegar in it.
Yes,
Right.
I definitely had the salt. Um,
Oh my gosh.
That's good.
so it has this is the yolk that like is like a traditional egg yolk, and then the little baby duck, fertilized duck egg. You don't eat this hard white part. Um, it was very,
The white part's so good. Tastes like the texture's like crunchy.
is it?
Yeah.
They told me not to eat the
What
white
is
part.
A lot of people like it. I don't.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's too hard.
Okay.
Yeah, so it depends on what.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So this it was actually really kind of tasty. Um, so I have a video on my Facebook. I don't remember what my Facebook password is. I'll try to get it logged in next time. So if anybody wants to, it's very, you eat it with salt, yep, and the vinegar, and it really kind of just helps with the flavor. It tastes like to me, like when you take like a saucy chicken wing, like a one that has like a lot of sauce on it, how the skin's kind of rubbery. But that's what like the texture of it tastes like. I almost didn't get it down, but I did. I gagged 3 times and I finally got it down. Um, but it was, yeah, I told him, I was like, I will try it. I am adventurous in my eating, so I will be excited uh, to try that. And the one thing I realized, um, I used to think that Texans were the most proud people in the entire world until I met Filipino people. They take the pride of their country, of their region to a whole nother level. And it was really cool. Um, so yeah, it was a really awesome visit. Um, got to eat a lot of great food, but they are 13 hours ahead. So, um,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, Miss Ayala, let me make sure I got you because I don't think I did. There we go. I got you updated. Okay. So I think we're good on attendance now. Um, I'll try my best to save some time at the very end of class to go over questions about the project and the video that you all watched. And if you have not watched that video, if you have not done the rub recipe, please make sure you make that a priority this week. All right. So that way next week when we come back together, we can start answering questions that you have about the project. I don't want you to get too far behind on that. All right. So chapter 5. Go. So I like chapter 5 because it kind of starts a new section of the textbook, right? So chapters 1 through 4, we're talking about ways that we can control our food cost, just some general ideas, talk about how we actually cost out and price our menus based on the ingredients of the recipe. Chapter 5, now we're going to take it and we're going to talk about the purchasing cycle. Okay. So the purchasing cycle, what is a cycle? When you hear the word cycle, what do you think about?
So
Something that repeats itself. Okay, absolutely. Any other cycles that you can think of?
The rain cycle.
The rain cycle. Okay, yeah, absolutely. I know in Texas we don't really have 4 seasons, but traditionally the weather cycle between spring, summer, fall, and winter, that usually repeats itself sometimes all in one day, depending on what time of the year it is. But essentially it's going to repeat itself. And so we have to pick like a starting point, right? So think about being a brand new restaurant. Our starting point is purchasing. That's the first step of our cycle. Okay. And then we receive the product. After that, we have to store it until we can use it. And then issuing it is actually using the product. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And then in between this issuing and purchasing, that's where we do inventory. Okay. And then that's how we know how much to purchase. Okay. There is one section that is missing. Oops. Go. And this is a concept called directs. So storing, we're going to put stuff in storage. Directs means it goes directly into production. So it goes right from the receiving dock right into production. So that's going to be primarily your very highly perishable with a low shelf life items. So things like fresh seafood, things like if there's baked goods. Let's say you're going to be making, you order some breads or some things from a local bakery. you're gonna put that right into production before it goes bad. Okay, so directs kind of skips this storing phase. And like I mentioned, chapter 5 kind of starts a new section of the textbook. The next few chapters, we're going to talk about how we can control our costs in each of these steps of the cycle. So we've talked about our product specifications before in a previous chapter, right? Who can remember there's 2 different categories for product specifications? No. Not edible yield. So specific things about our products. The ingredients, they both start with the Q. The quality and the quantity. Okay. So quality and quantity. So really, in this case, our quantity is a 15-pound case of apples. Pretty much everything else on there is going to be a quality of that apple. Okay. Quantity and quality of our product specifications. Why do we need to know what the specifications of our products need to be? Think about it from a cost perspective.
It helps us know where our shrink is going, where our revenue is coming from, and all that stuff.
So it helps us know where what's coming, where what's going.
Shrink is going.
What do you mean by shrink?
Like let's say out of those 15 pounds, 1 pound is unusable. Like we can't sell it to people, we can't use it at all. Then we have to be able to be like, how much money did that 1 pound cost us, and how much did we lose?
Yeah, absolutely. So what is our edible yield, right? If I'm serving those apples on a buffet line, right, a breakfast buffet, what is my yield for that apple? It's 100%, right? Because someone's gonna take that apple and they're gonna take the whole apple. If I'm making apple pie, I have to peel the apple, I have to core it. So my yield is not gonna be 100% of that 15 pounds. So that's a good, we wanna know what we're using the product for. And then in the recipe will tell us, and then from there, we'll be able to determine what is our edible yield for that. So we know that if I need to have 15 pounds of apples to make my apple pies, am I gonna order only 1 case? No, I need to order 2 cases, so I have some extra, right? Because I'm gonna lose some of that weight when it comes to the peeling, the coring, the processing from that regard, okay? Why else? From a cost perspective, why is it important to know the different product specifications?
For consistency.
Go ahead. For consistency, yes. For consistency. When those guests come in, they want to know that they're going to get the exact same thing when they order it. Okay, good. Anybody else? Any other thoughts? One of the things that we want to know when it comes to product specifications is there any acceptable substitutions that we can make? Okay. If I'm making a fajita plate, does it matter what color bell peppers I use? Not really. So if one day Cisco comes to me and says, hey, you know what? Our red bell peppers are cheaper than our green bell peppers today because we have too many, we want to get rid of them. So we have a special on these peppers. Okay, I might go ahead and switch out the peppers for that day, and that particular time because I'm making fajitas. It doesn't really matter what the bell peppers are, right? If I'm making apple pie, and Cisco comes to me and says, "Hey, we have red delicious apples on special today. Can I substitute those for Granny Smith apples in an apple pie?" Where are my baking students? Any baking students in here? You guys are all culinary?
Well, I thought the Granny Smith apples.
Yeah,
were
Granny
usually-
Smith are the only apples you could use for apple pie, from what I understand. Like the tartness, the water content, how crisp they are. I see a chat coming up. Let's see if I can verify that. Oh, Aaron, I have it, and I'll update my attendance later. Um, yeah, so from what I understand, Granny Smiths are the ideal apples, right? If you use apples that have too much water in them and they're too mushy, then the apple filling is just gonna kind of fall apart, right? And so Granny Smith apples are the ideal apple. All right. The other thing that we want to know, so we don't buy too much, is how much do we buy and how often do we buy it? Okay. So what we want to do is we want to figure out what is our product usage? How much product do we actually use? How do you think we do that? Brad, any thoughts?
Imagine like inventories.
Okay, so we can take our inventory. We can take our beginning inventory, right? And then after the shift is done or after the meal is done, we can take our ending inventory and see how much product we used. Okay, good. So that's how much product we use per day. And then how do you think we figure out how much to order?
You compare it to what?
So we know how much how much we have per day that we use, right? And so then what do we have to look at?
How much we use per period?
Okay, so depending on when our ordering comes in, how many days is in between our orders, that's how we figure out how much product we're going to use. Okay? So that's going to allow us to establish our par. And our par level is basically the minimum amount that we need to have on hand in order to operate. Okay? That minimum we need to have on hand in order to operate fully. Is par always correct? No. Sometimes we run out of stuff, and that's okay. I mean, it's not okay, but we run out of stuff, and then we'll learn that maybe next time we need to order a little bit more product. Okay? Maybe we might have to adjust our par. And so with this, let's take a look. Our par for the prime rib, our par is 4. Okay? Now, if we count in our inventory that we have 2 prime rib already, that means I'm only going to buy 2 prime ribs. Why would I not order 4 prime ribs? My par is 4, so why would I not order 4?
You already have 2.
I already have 2, right? And so we have to subtract what's in our inventory because otherwise we're going to order too much product. Okay, if I order 4 prime rib, when that prime rib comes to my door, now I'm going to have 6 prime ribs. Okay, and so in that case, I'm going to have extra. And depending on what that product is, either it can go bad if it has a short shelf life, or it can grow legs and walk away. Our employees might take it, right? There's a lot of extra product laying around. They may think, oh, they're not going to miss 1 if there's 6 right here, right? So if you look right here, we have a Monday par and we have a Thursday par. So essentially our Monday par is what's going to get us through the week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And then on Thursday, our par is, in this case, 6, okay? That's going to get us through Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Okay. And then we're going to order again. And so now if our par is 6, we subtract that 2 and we're going to buy 4. Okay. So the idea is when the delivery comes to our dock, to our loading dock or the back door, they come in and they deliver the product. When that delivery is made, the product that they bring to us is bringing us back up to par. Okay, so we should be back up to par for that regard. Any questions, comments, concerns about par? No?
Nope.
That can't be it. Let's talk about daily usage for a little bit, for a minute. So let's use that example where we have a Monday. Oops. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Okay. Let's call our delivery day Wednesday. Delivery day is Wednesday and our delivery day is Saturday. Okay. So if my delivery day is on Wednesday, my delivery day is on Saturday. What product are we talking about here? Someone give me a product. What?
Deli meat.
Deli meat. Okay, cool. So we're using deli meat. Okay. How much deli meat do we use on Monday? Give me a number in pounds. 2 pounds. Okay, how about Tuesday?
3 pounds.
3 pounds. Okay. How about Wednesday?
6 pounds.
6 pounds. Thursday.
10 pounds.
Oh my gosh, we go up throughout the whole week. Okay, Friday?
2.
2 pounds. We're not very busy on Friday.
Dang.
Okay, Saturday?
30.
1 pound. And Sunday?
5 pounds.
5 pounds. Okay. So slightly unrealistic, but that's okay. This will serve the point. Okay. So if our delivery is on Saturday, let's say our delivery comes in Saturday morning. Okay. So if my delivery comes on Saturday morning, let me use a different color for Saturday. Okay. Then that means when that delivery truck comes to drop off, I need to get back up to my par so I can operate for Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. Right? Because my delivery is going to come on Wednesday. So 6 pounds and 5 pounds. So that means my par for Saturday is 11 pounds. That's how I get to 11 pounds. And then for Wednesday, 6 plus 10 is 16 plus 2 is 18. That means my par for Wednesday is 18 pounds. That's how much product I need to get through that particular period until I get another delivery. Okay. We might build in a little bit of a safety factor. So we might add an extra pound or two just in case we're busy one day, right? Or just in case the truck's a little bit late, we have a little bit of product to get us started for the day until the truck can get there. Okay. So we might go ahead and give ourselves a little bit of a safety factor by adding just a little bit. So I may say I'm going to order 15 pounds for Saturday and maybe 20 pounds for Wednesday. Okay. And that's how, using our daily usage, that's how we can figure out how much everything is going to be. Okay. Now, if our daily usage is the same every single day, it's really easy, right? Because we just multiply by the number of days between deliveries. So let's say I use 2 kegs of beer every day. Okay. So if I use 2 kegs of beer every day, that's 2, 4, 6, 8. That means on Saturday, I need to have 8 kegs. And on Wednesday, 2, 4, 6, I need to have 6 kegs. So when it's the same usage every day, it's a little bit easier. But obviously, sometimes on the weekends, we have a little bit different usage during the week, during the other periods of time. Okay. Questions, comments, concerns about that?
I'm curious, does would you have to consider other factors with like say like seasonal changes or like like a major holiday? Like, would you have to go in and account for things like that?
Absolutely, Josh. That's a great point. So yes, so our par might change, like you said, based on the season. And so if what we're gonna do is we might look at what we did last year, just like we did forecasting, we might look like what we did last year, and maybe use that as our baseline, or maybe even increase just a little bit. Okay, so I know like sometimes hotels will do really big buffets for Thanksgiving or Christmas during on the holiday time. They're gonna know how many pounds of bacon did they go through, how many eggs did they go through, and that was based on how many guests they had. So if this year they're gonna increase the number of guests, then they're gonna have to also increase the amount of food. Yeah, absolutely. So your par, you can have it be on specific things, or so like for example, this is why it's important to know what's going on in your city. So if we have a conference that's in town that's not usually in town on the weekends, but now we have a conference that's in town, we might increase our par a little bit. Okay, we might go ahead and order a little extra product. When we have 10,000 Alcoholics Anonymous in town for a conference, do you think we're going to be stocking up our bars? Probably not. We probably don't need to maybe have that. But if we have, I don't know, I'm going to use teachers as an example because every time I go to a teachers conference, they drink like crazy. If we're gonna have a whole bunch of teachers, or we're gonna have the NCAA Final Four, do you think we're gonna increase our beer purchase and our bar purchases? Probably, and our food purchases for sure as well. So yeah, absolutely. Those types of things you need to take into consideration. That's why it's really important to know kind of what's going on in the city if you are a downtown location. Good question. All right, so I do have another thing I want to talk about as far as purchasing, because this is going to help you with your homework, your purchasing homework. All right, let me share my screen. Okay, so as we are looking at purchasing and knowing how much product to purchase, one thing that we did not show on that chart that was on the PowerPoint about the prime rib and how much to order, one thing that was not considered, excuse me, in that example is the concept of lead time usage. Okay, so lead time. Does anybody not know what lead time means?
I do not.
Okay. Who does know what lead time means? Anybody? Remember?
Is it how many days you could use that product?
Well, so it has to do with the number of days, but really what the lead time usage is, the lead time is the time between when you place the order and when you actually get the order. Okay. In some cases, for example, when I worked at Chester's Hamburgers, they got fresh hamburger patties every single morning. So the lead time usage was 0 because the manager would count how many boxes of meat were left over the night before, look at the par for the next day, and then they would only order the amount that would bring that product back up to par. Okay. So there was no lead time usage because they placed the order at night and it was brought in before we even opened for the business for the next day, right? So there was no usage of product during that time. But sometimes there is. If we place our order in the morning and it doesn't come until the next morning, then we've used product all day long, right? That takes out of our inventory. And so when we consider and actually ordering appropriately, we want to make sure we add in whatever lead time usage is, because remember, our goal is that when that product is dropped off at our door or brought into our store, that we are up to par. Okay, so let's use a couple of examples here. Our par here is 48, okay, 48 bottles. In inventory, I have 22, okay? So what do? Do I add or subtract those 22?
Subtract.
I subtract those 22, and that gives me 26, okay? Now, let's look at our lead time usage. For the purposes of this homework, okay, and this particular class, when it says Monday, when it says AM, that means before we are open to the public, right? If it says PM, that means we've done it after we've closed. So we've actually worked, we've been open all day, okay? So if the order is placed on Monday morning and the delivery is Wednesday morning, okay? What I like to do is you see how here I put Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And then I ask myself on Monday, if I place the order on Monday morning, that's before we open. So that means all day Monday, we're going to have product being used. All day Tuesday. And then Wednesday morning, when the delivery comes in the morning, that means before we are open for the day. Okay. So I'm not going to have any usage with that product. Questions, comments, concerns about how I determine the lead time usage?
I have a question.
Yeah.
So on there it says lead time usage equals 2x10 equals to 20 BTLS. Is that gonna be the standard?
Nope, all the information is going to be up here. So my daily usage is 10 bottles. Okay, so that's where I look at my 2 check marks. So I have 2 days of daily usage times my daily usage of 10 bottles. That's going to be my 20. So I'm going to actually add those back in. So I'm going to actually order 46. Okay, because what would happen if I didn't order those extra 20 bottles?
You'd be short.
I would be short when they bring those 26 bottles right here. If they were to bring just those 26 bottles, then I'm going to end up being short and I'm not going to have enough to get through the next period of time. Okay, so let's do another example together. Our par is 24, our daily bottle usage is 10, and we have 6 in inventory. So 24 is our par. And how much in inventory? 6. Okay, so we're gonna do what? Subtract, and we get
18.
18. Okay, so we're gonna subtract, so we get 18 bottles. Now, our order is placed on Monday morning. So Monday, and the delivery is Tuesday. So Monday AM and Tuesday AM. So am I going to have usage on Monday?
Yes.
Yes, right? Because it's before we open. So I place my order on Monday morning. The delivery is on Tuesday morning before we open. Am I going to have any usage on Tuesday? No, I'm not. So I only have 1 check mark. So that's 1 day times the 10 bottles is equal to 10 bottles. That's my lead time usage. Okay, I add that together and I have 28. Okay, 28 to order. Anybody see an error or an issue there? This situation, I do. What is my daily usage?
Oh, 10.
And how many do I have in par?
6.
Or
Oh,
in
24.
inventory, I meant, sorry, in inventory,
Oh,
I have 6. I'm already short. Right? So mathematically it tells me I should order 28 bottles, but my par is 24. Okay, so that's an error that I have had for multiple semesters. So I'm going to fix that right now. And I'm going to save this so I don't forget that I changed it. All right. So in this case, with our updated numbers, 24 minus 12 is 12 plus 10 is 22. So I'd order 22 bottles. Okay. So when they bring those bottles to my delivery dock, I'm right up to par of 24. Okay. Questions, comments, concerns about that? Let's do another example. All right. So par is 500, our daily usage is 150, and our inventory is 200. Determine the amount to order if the order is placed on Tuesday night and the delivery is Thursday morning. Okay, so let's work on this one together and then do the next one on your own. So Tuesday PM and Thursday AM. So on Tuesday, when I place my order, is there going to be any usage on Tuesday?
No.
No, because we're already closed for the day, right? So then we have Wednesday in the middle. Yes, I have Wednesday. Thursday, the delivery is on in the morning. So am I going to have any usage on that day? No. Okay. So even though it says Tuesday to Thursday, our daily usage is only one day. Right? So now let's go ahead and do this together. Our par is 500. In inventory, we have 200. So that means what?
It's 300.
I need to order 300, but I've taken Mr. Uminski's cost control class, and I remember that you have to include our lead time usage. So our lead time usage, there's one check mark. So that's 1 day times 150 pounds. And that's going to be our 150 we're going to add. So I'm actually going to order 450 pounds. Questions, comments, concerns about that? All right, let's do the last one. Go ahead and do the last one on your own, and then you can check your answers with your neighbor. If you want online, you can type your answer into the chat. All right. So our par is 125 dozen. In inventory, we have 100. So that's my 25 dozen. Okay. Now let's figure out our lead time usage. Friday and then Monday. And we fill in the days in between, Saturday, Sunday. Okay. Friday AM and Monday AM. So are we going to have product on Friday that's going to be used? Yes. I place my order in the morning. Okay. So that means all day Friday I'm going to use product. Saturday and Sunday, of course. And then Monday AM means that it's going to be there before we open to the public. So we have 3, bless you, times 25 dozen is our 75 dozen. We add those together and get 100 dozen to order. Okay. So check your work, see if you made a mistake, where you made the mistake. So that way when you do the homework, you'll be better.
I didn't count the Monday.
You didn't count them. Well, Monday doesn't count. So did you count Friday? That might have been.
I mean, yeah, I didn't count Friday. Sorry. Yeah.
So remember, if it says morning, that means before we open to the public. So if we ordered in the morning, we're going to use product that day. If it
But
says
if it's PM,
that means we've been closed. We're closed for the day. So if it means on Friday PM, then that means we've already worked Friday. But if the delivery comes in the PM, like sometimes you see Starbucks will get their order at the middle of the night, right? So business has already operated that day, so they need to count for that usage on that day that they're open. All right. So let's take a look then at. Yes, Aaron, I got you covered for attendance. Let's look at assignments. All right. So we have a purchasing formula and PAR homework. I went ahead and created a separate video, so you can rewatch this if you have questions. Okay. Let's preview this so you can take a look and see. Essentially, this is going to be those 3 questions that we just did in class. So, question number 4, you will do on your own as an additional question. All right. I think I need to change that for next semester. For those of you who are question number 2, no. Question number 1, I did not change it. So this is that original 6 bottles. So that's going to be that weird answer where you're actually ordering more than par. All right. I'm going to stop this recording.